Conversation is a totally alternative interview series with women who have a story or experience to share. Relationships, sex, kids, career. We're basically talking about the universal language of women. If all you have that's fake on you for being in Hollywood this long is some hair extensions, you're in good shape.
These are real.
They are real.
There's a lot of empowerment in writing stuff and having it be read, and A, having it be a success, you know what I mean? And then B, being like, oh, okay, now I have an audience that is actually excited or interested in anything I have to say. It's such an amazing feeling.
So almost by default, because the acting didn't work out, then how did you get up and how did you start doing stand-up?
Somebody told me, I literally was at
Someone said you're funny?
No, well, everybody's been saying that for so many years. No, I went to a DUI class. I got a DUI and I had to do public speaking because you had to tell your DUI story. This was when I was 21 years old. I got a DUI like the day I turned 21. And then I did it and people were laughing because the story was really funny in itself. I had driven by my own apartment when I got pulled over. Like I had gone home and then just was so drunk I like passed my own house. And then I called the cop a racist. Meanwhile, we were both white. And then I did something else that was really stupid. So it was a very funny story. And by the time it was over, I had been on stage for like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm like, this is the best feeling in the world.
See, further proof that out of everything shitty can come something positive.
I know, right?
So from that experience, you were like, oh, people respond to this. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah, I thought, oh, I'll go do stand-up. And luckily, my first couple stand-up experiences were pretty positive. And then that's when I started to really bomb. Because if I had bombed right away, I probably would never have had the guts to pursue it.
But what do you think it is about you that enabled you to try acting, say this isn't working, and then have that moment at the DUI school and say, I'm going to try stand-up comedy? Is there something about you that allows you just to take risks and try new stuff?
Yeah, I like something that's not that you hadn't considered before. Like, oh, maybe let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. You just never give up. You never give up.
Find another way.
There's always a way. There's always a way to do something. You know, there's a way. I have a show now that I've created that's built around me rather than being cast in a show or a movie that's written by somebody else, that's produced by somebody else, with them giving me direction of what to do. I've managed to navigate, not intentionally, completely accidentally, but now when I look at it, I'm like, I make every single decision on every show that I produce. That's a pretty great position for me to be in, and I never ever sought out to do that, but somehow by accident, because of not giving up and because of trying every avenue, I'm able to do that.
And is it also because you didn't want to get squashed and conformed by other people's ideas? So if you're staying true to yourself, then eventually your opinion and your word ends up what's being out there.
I find most people to be very stupid.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, most people who are in charge of television shows or in charge of movies, the people that are in charge most of the time shouldn't be in charge. And they give you notes based on what they think will work, or everyone's coming from a place of fear. And my feeling is, stop being so afraid. If something doesn't work, that's fine. At least then you know it doesn't work. Don't worry so much about it not working.
Yeah.
You know, you can always fix that. I mean,
so what do you do when you get notes down from, you know, whoever's running the network that you think this is just bullshit? I'm not going to incorporate this. What do you do?
I fight, and usually, you know, if I don't win, sometimes you let it go, and if it's really important, you keep fighting, and then, you know, then the notes start to dissipate, and after a while, they stop giving them to you.
Aha! Okay, so here's the other thing. Being a woman who speaks up and says, no, this isn't going to work, I don't want to do that, that's how we get the reputation for being mean or a bitch. Just because we're speaking up.
I'll take it. I don't care if someone wants to say I'm a bitch. I know what I am. I am a bitch. I'm not going to put up with anybody's bullshit. I'm just not. That's not how
I don't think you're a bitch. I think you just have an opinion about what it is you want.
Right, but you know me. You know that I'm like a good girl.
Yeah,
People who don't know me are like, oh, she's so tough, she's a bitch. Good, then think I'm a bitch. That's not really my problem what you think of me.
When I think about you, I think about how generous and how kind and how supportive you are.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
It's true. That's been my experience of you.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think it's always important to, you know, include as many possible people as you can in success, and take your friends, your family, your loved ones with you, and any way you can, you know, whether that's a fun trip or a plane ride or whatever you can give to somebody else. It's always the way to go. I mean, that always kind of is the way to live life. It makes you a happier person, and think about how much you can give to others when you can afford to do something like that. It's so important to act on that.
You do that with the women in your life. You really support women in your life.
So many women are so competitive and they're so jealous, and they don't realize that there's a space for everybody.
There is.
It's not a comparison.
Yeah.
Just because I have a late night show doesn't mean another girl can't have a late night show. I'm not going to go sit there and go, no.
Is there any part of you that feels like you've had to compromise your femininity to be in that late night arena?
When I first started doing stand-up, I would always like kind of tomboy it up and put my hair in a ponytail and I just wear jeans and not care about my clothes, and I didn't want to be like, all about my looks.
Right.
I wanted it to be about what I was saying. So just now, since the show's been on, I think we're in our 6th year. Now I get to like have more fun with the way I look because I've already established our audience and they've been really loyal to me, which has given me a career that I'm completely grateful for.
So with your schedule and with the amount that you work, do you make time to have a relationship? How do you do that?
Yeah, well, my boyfriend is as busy as I am, so we both make time. I think if you want to be in a relationship with someone, you both make it happen, and we do. I mean, we're fortunate enough to be able to have the wherewithal and the resources to kind of meet each other all over the place.
You have the quintessential long-distance relationship.
I do, and I like it.
You do, right? What do you like about it?
Because it's always fun. It's always exciting. It's super romantic, and I'm not that romantic. I never thought I was.
I think you are.
Well, I think I am now, too.
Yeah.
I just maybe I was trying to pretend I wasn't.
I think so, too.
So he's very romantic, and he's a really, he's very good for me. I'm very good for him. He's pretentious, and I'm not. So it's like, I take him down a notch, and he brings me up a notch.
I love seeing you with him because I get to also see you really in a very feminine woman role.
Yes, he makes me very feminine. That's true. When you meet somebody in the first time, I think we had some troubles in the beginning because we were both so
You're strong
we were
individuals.
both fighting who the other person was.
Yes.
Like everything you like about somebody, you end up detesting about them.
Exactly, and want to change them.
So the thing is, I liked about him, I was like, oh, I don't like that either. You like it and then you don't like it. And then finally I realized, we both calmed down, and then we were able to come together in a much different way. But I'm grateful to be in an adult relationship because I always figured, I'll just have sex with a bunch of guys and have my career.
But again, I think that's probably just your fear of thinking that you would never have that.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
And how do you feel about getting married? Is that something that's important to you?
No, it's not important to me at all.
And I remember you telling me that you were not interested in having kids either.
I definitely don't want to have kids.
Why not?
Because I don't like them. I don't know.
No, you like other people's, and you
I like. I totally get it. I mean, so many of my friends have kids, and but I'm just not. I don't think I'd be a great mother. I'm a great aunt or like friend of a mother. I don't want to spend that kind of time. I don't want to have a kid and have it raised by a nanny, and I don't have the time to raise a child.
Well, you know what? I wish more people were honest and knew themselves as well as you do, because so many people have babies and don't do a great job or don't take care of them and don't really want them, just have them because they think society demands they should have them.
Yeah, and I think childhood was like heartbreaking enough for anybody. I don't know that I could handle my own child, especially if I had a girl going through what I went through growing up. Not that it was so traumatic, but in many ways it was, in your own way.
But I understand, and that sounds like a very healthy reason not to have kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Is
that vodka? It is. You know this.
If it is, I'd be giving it to you.
If it was, it would be gone before you even sat down.
What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
The best piece of advice I've ever been given is to not be. You can have a natural feeling of jealousy towards another person, but never to act on it.
What is your biggest regret?
I don't have anything I regret, honestly. I think everything's good. I mean, I don't have any.
All right. What would you tell your 14-year-old self?
My 14-year-old self, I would have said, your life is going to get really, really good, better than you could have ever imagined. So just suck it up and stop counting all the days until the graduation of high school. Probably not to have sex when I was 14, but I don't really regret that either. I mean, I was going to have sex at some point, but once you open that door, it's hard to shut.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's always embarrassing to tell people you lost your virginity at 14. I would feel better to be able to say 15.
I know.
Or 16.
Do you remember who the first guy was you did it with?
Yes, I do. And it wasn't somebody that was, yes.
Was he a repeat customer?
Yeah. He was a boyfriend.
Oh.
He was much older than me, though, so it wasn't really.
How old was he?
He was 24 when I was 14.
Right.
Which is not good.
What is your favorite sex position?
Missionary. I just like regular, like kind of like when you're kissing and you know your man is on top of you. I just love that. I like it just straight up.
Straight up Chelsea.
Yeah.
Suck it, baby. Don't drip that stuff all over you now.
Is it dripping again?
It's dripping
I know.
again.
This is
We're gonna have to change your shirts. I have to meet her.
She's not as cute as me, but she's very sweet.
Well, very few people as cute as you, lover.
Why don't you keep talking shit, girl?
Oh, she can.
You've got the hair for it. Just keep talking, keep swinging your head around like a rattlesnake.